to another day on planet Earth and another day of Dose of Did You Know, where intriguing, inspiring, unique individuals come to talk about love and life and how it has brought them to where they are today. I am your host, Danny Rocco, and back is Mr. Luke. Luke, how are you today?
Outstanding once again.
Well, you are so inspiring and so amazing. We have to talk about the other level of Luke, the other side of Luke, or one other side. I'm sure there's more than the two that I know, but that's all we're gonna get into.
Jekyll and Hyde.
Might be scary if we dig a little deeper than that. You've got a little bit of my scariness from our pre-conversation before the show of what goes on up here. So I think some things belong in our own head, some things belong in your own head, and we should not share it with the world.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, perfect. Before we start talking, tell the world a little bit about who Luke is.
Small town guy from southeastern Minnesota. Always wanted to be a soldier. Got the opportunity through, and our last one talked about some questionable recruiting policies, but was able to serve in the military and the cavalry as a combat medic, and it was the best job I ever had. Separated from the military at some point in time, had a family to start up. Came back, tried to go law enforcement through college. I went to college, and then I learned that, law enforcement wasn't for me. I was better at war than I was probably keeping the peace. I kind of drifted, struggled for a while to find purpose, placement, meaningful employment, all kinds of stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Did eventually find some meaningful employment where I currently work at a hospital. And then recently I got roped into starting a business, and making T-shirts for veterans and law enforcement, patriots, and kind of been having a blast at that as we're starting our journey here.
I love that. I love how you say you got roped in, because I have a feeling it might not have been that difficult, or maybe it was. But I got to give a shout out to Brad, because he gave me crap yesterday because my audio sucked. My internet sucked. I don't know. God did not want my words to come out of my mouth and with my guests. You know why? Because I was speaking some truth, and I think whatever. God wanted me to do it. It was the devil. I should have said that. That was the wrong. God wanted to speak, but there was some devil going on yesterday with.
You got to talk to the devil every now and then.
Oh yeah, we did a dance. I won. God won. It was perfect. But tell me about this roping in. Who roped you in, and how hard was it to wrangle you? Because you're a big guy.
It was my business partner, David. I work with him, and we were just sitting around shooting the shit, and we were just kind of talking about, making some cool shirts that nobody's making. Be like, oh, it'd be cool to have this shirt, and like, yeah, that would be cool. And like, you could make shirts for people, for like the veteran community, and for him, the law enforcement community. And we had all these great ideas, and we looked online, and nobody's making. I mean, they're making shirts that are, you've got like Grunt Style and One Nation Design, all kinds of people that are making them. But, there's so many veterans out there and so many different ideas. There's no way one company can make every idea of a shirt. And there's tons of great ideas out there. So when we were kind of talking about it and playing around, like, oh, yeah, it'd be totally cool to start a business. And neither one of us have a clue on what it takes to start a business. But then we started looking at, well, what does it actually take to buy the equipment to be invested in? And we're looking at it, it was relatively, low cost for the amount of expected orders we would have. So we're like, well, maybe we should look at this further. And, we started looking at it, and it really wasn't that big of a deal. You have to register appropriately and buy your equipment, get good at, what service you're going to offer, have some good ideas, and then, have some capital to back up, your initial investment, which for us was low. You didn't need a loan. So, and then it's just the bureaucracy of talking to banks and business accounts and, Minnesota, the state, and getting all your EIN numbers and all that.
All that fun jazz.
Oh, man.
I heard about this, that who I was talking to, oh gosh, what is it called with when the person helps you file claims with the VA? I just went blank on it.
I
Oh,
don't know.
sugar
I've
snipe.
never been to admit. I'm gonna admit I've never been to the VA.
Well, she was telling me, I might have to connect you. She was telling me that there are things out there. I don't want to say grants or money, and someone else can even butt in here, but it's money. And I don't know how it is for veterans that are starting their own business and
Oh, I'm
things like
sure.
that.
Sure.
Well, maybe you need to take a trip to the VA for that sense.
I don't need their money.
Okay. All right.
The military
Well,
owes
then
me
we'll
nothing.
just carry on there. But very, very cool. So you have a law enforcement, which you did not
Mhm.
want to go that way. You were
No,
not, that was not your world,
no, but I
but
do want to support
you
them.
connect with them as more on a professional friend basis.
Yeah, I mean, I work with cops, so
I don't know cops, but you just didn't want to be one.
no, it's just overseas. I got to work with a great group of guys, and we went after and completing our mission, and that was just that. And everybody's got a microscope, and
Yeah.
just I don't know. And then there's things that cops have to do on like felony traffic stops that you know give people the drop on you, and you can't ask me to do that over and over again inside the certain realm of policies. I'm conditioned for a different beast, and I think
Yes, yes.
for that.
Okay. I wanted to know I had to get in there a little bit about like what it was. Is it the people? Is it the job? Is it whatever? All right. You satisfied my curiosity.
All right.
You satisfied my curiosity. But what I do want to actually, what I'm curious more so about is what makes your idea and your shirt something that someone is going to resonate and connect with? Because it is what you said. There's a lot of different veteran shirts out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I always find that I shouldn't say every, some of them just like look like the same thing. And I don't know that there's any difference besides whatever logo they put on the sleeve. And I'm like,
Right.
oh, that came from that person instead. But some are very uniquely placed. Like I loved Live for Vets. Like Dom, love his company, love his nonprofit and what he does, but it's very unique and specific to like deadlifting and things like that, which
Right.
I just wear the shit. I don't actually do that. That is way too
whatever
advanced for me, right? But that's like his jam, or so everybody has it. What is your niche, your jam that makes it unique?
We're starting off and we're trying to offer something first off in our specific area, because there's nothing offered in like there's southeastern Minnesota that we've looked. There's nobody making shirts for vets down here. There just is, at least none that I can think of.
Right.
And you have your online retailers, but so we're going to start there. With the local clientele. Something to customize our area in. But really, I mean, what it is, and when we were playing with names and we settled on Extra Duty Clothing Company, we had struggled to find names, and we were like, well, what do we identify as? Well, we're normal guys or lazy guys or something, so it's like, we're not looking to be the next Grunt Style. We're just normal dudes that want to make t-shirts for you guys that you'd like to wear, and then wherever that takes us, I guess we're going to be willing to go. Eventually we would like to offer more of what we can to those specific communities on specific things like PTSD, trying to harp on active counseling, and do maintenance like you do on your car. You kind of need the same thing. But we have a lot of humor in our shirts too, and a lot of it is also revolving around healthcare, because we both work in healthcare, and there's not a lot of people doing stuff for healthcare workers, and so we're trying to cover the basis of our community right now, and also work on supporting those bigger groups that we want to be a part of and identify with.
I totally dig that. Like, build the community you're in. You have all of these different categories right there in your community. And then you have the actual community as a whole. So kind of showing that like, hoorah for right there. And you can pull in all of those bigger things, because the bigger, I don't want to say things, but the bigger issues are right there in your community. So pulling that all together, I totally like that. I'm never been to Minnesota, know your area, but I would get one to support like that little community.
Yeah, it's, you got to start, if you want to influence the world or a large topic like PTSD, like veterans, like whatever, like law enforcement. I mean, law enforcement, military, PTSD, it's a national issue. You got to start, in your community. Start your community, help your community, be a part of your community, and expand from there. And I'll admit I haven't been very good at that, and I think this is kind of, for me personally, this is like somewhere where it's like I've been out for like 8 years, and it's like, I think I need to start, like I should stop ignoring issues and probably trying to start to do something. I've been pretty terrible at staying in contact with a lot of my old service buddies and stuff, and reaching out. I'm not, like I said, I've never been to the VA. I haven't been helping the VA. I don't do stuff with my local like VFW, which I should start doing, and I will start doing. The only thing I've really done was I have a buddy that's works with the POW MIA writers. I'll do some things with them eventually, but it's time to step up the game.
Gosh. Okay. So real quick before I forget, you got to go into the comments later, because Irene said she'd love to connect and she might be able to help you. But on a side note is what got you, not side note, renote is, I love what you just said. I love you just being like, I didn't do
a normal guy.
I didn't do squat for the last 8 years, but something changed in your heart. What was it that changed in your heart? Do you even know, or was it just like placed there?
So I listen to a lot of different podcasts, and I've always held the military near and dear to my heart. So I started watching these guys that are far better human beings than I am, and they're talking about these issues and making a difference. And, that started resonating with me that, you should do that in your communities. And this is my community. I'm a part of it, and I have a responsibility to it. And, and I look back at, we talked last time, medic wasn't exactly my choice. It was my choice. It was my better choice. But, as a medic, people relied on me for things, for help. I mean, coaching, if you wanted to come to me as a 20-year-old for coaching, then, maybe better than nothing. But, and that still resonates with me. I am proud of that time. And, I stopped doing that after I got out of the military, and said, well, why? I'm still Doc Hust. I do need to watch out for these people, whether or not I directly served with them or not. And then I just expanded that to the community. There's law enforcement all around me, and they go through tough things, nursing in the emergency departments and all kinds of places, psychiatric units, and they go through a lot. And it's like, well, these guys are all now part of my community, and maybe Doc Hust can help somebody, but I just want people to embrace who they are, and just, we'll work better together than individually.
Isn't it funny? I see, like, as you're talking, I always get these like visuals. I'm such a visual person. So that's why when people say things that I don't want to visualize, I'm like, shut the trap. I don't want to visualize that. So keep it to yourself. But when you were talking, I'm seeing like you did, right? You had this journey of your service and how you got to be a medic and those things. If you guys want to hear it, you got to check out his Devoted to a Soldier podcast, which was, he goes into more detail. We're not going to rehash that, but right then you get out, you kind of like flop around, you're figuring you don't know what your purpose is, where you want to go now, who Luke is. You do the police thing, not so much. You end up in the healthcare security. So it's all like in that protection side, but and now it's on your heart. It's like you saw all these things and the holes in it, and now it's placed on your heart that you are ready and you have all this knowledge and all these tools that you didn't even know was going on when you were flopping around for those 8 years to actually make a difference and an impact of like where your purpose is. But it's all tied together. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, I mean, it's something I would have never guessed. I mean, if you would have asked me even a year ago if I would be a business owner, I would have said you're crazy. But yeah, and it's just, again, it's just kind of looking at my community and realizing that, well, I don't see anybody else really doing it, so maybe I should.
Maybe I should. Yes, you should. I love it. God is so funny how he works. Like I say funny just because it like fascinates me. I'm always like, "Whoo, look at how all of that unrelated but so related has brought you exactly to where you're supposed to be with these shirts." So when do you launch?
No, I'm already launched.
Are they out there? Can I get it? Because I'm
always like, extraduty.net.com. So that's the website. You can find us on Facebook at Extra Duty Clothing Company. Yeah, I think we're on Instagram, but kind of a rookie at this. So, but yeah, extraduty.net is the key there. We're up and running. We've been, I think 2 months up and running now, and things are going pretty well considering, we're inexperienced at this whole thing. So.
Everybody's inexperienced. Slowly, eventually you get more experience, but in the whole scope of things, we all are just like little babies and that are growing. Brad, I'm going to stick the link right in this so you can get a shirt. I can get a shirt. Maybe Brad and I can twin, take a picture, send it to you, Luke. I don't know. Like I have all these ideas. I want to see what this Minnesota small town guy's got going on promoting his community. I just love the whole concept. And you're right. I don't see, everybody's usually out here big, and they forget where their feet are in the community that they live in. So
yeah.
I think you're onto something.
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Or you just shared your secret sauce with the world and they're going to, like these little things are going to pop up. But hey, can't ever duplicate you.
Yeah, no. Somebody had to be me. Might as well be me.
You're so humble and cute. I just want to pinch your cheeks. Like,
yeah, we'll skip that.
Okay. All right. Fine. All right. Well, Luke, before I let you go, I ask that you answer this last question with the first thing that comes to your mind. In this moment right now, what does love mean to you?
Love is what you. I mean, it's what inspires you to do great things. So love, I would say, is it's a power within people that can make you do the impossible on a regular basis.
Yeah, that is, I love the responses to the questions and sometimes to that question, but that one is really good. Inspires you to do great things.
I've seen it tons and tons of times over. I've seen people do amazing things over love of brotherhood or love of spouse, love of country that you would never imagine possible.
So well stated. Luke, thank you for who you are and your quiet, humble, amazing presence that you have, that you are doing great things from that state. And I absolutely love it. Everybody check out the link that will be there right there. Just click it in the description. Make life easy for everybody. I'm about simplicity and ease. And to everyone else that is out there, remember, as always, love hard, love pure, and love proactive. Until next time, take care.